All right, what's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? This is your boy Wick. Wick. Shut up. All right, I am super excited today to introduce this fantastic individual who has really helped shift the way I look at products in the beauty industry. I know a lot of the times we look at products that we're using. How do we get results for our clients? How can we push retail that we're confident in using? Because so many times in the group, I see people that are asking questions and they're not sure how to do certain things. But what if it was easier? What if you had a product that you use for your facial treatments, you sell in your back bar for retail, et cetera, et cetera. If you had a product that you knew was gonna work, that you just knew without a doubt. And so, this person helped shift my perspective. And I want to introduce her to you and this wonderful group. Please welcome Terri. Terri, welcome. Thank you so much for sparing your time. I know how busy you are, and especially it's 8 p.m. here in California. So where are you right now, and how late is it over there?
It is 11 o'clock, and I am actually in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Holler. All right. Well, shoot, thanks for putting it. So please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background, because you are an esthetician, and then how you went from there to Corium, how you discovered Corium, because you have an interesting story, and I think a lot of people will relate to what you got to say.
Yeah. So I've been a practicing esthetician for about 15 years. I was interested in skincare my whole life, and had wanted to get my license very early on. And I always say boys and babies got in the way. And so that kind of delayed my skincare career. So 15 years into it, absolutely just love our industry, love correcting skin, love making a difference for people. When I was practicing, I was a lot like a lot of the estheticians that are probably listening in on this, where you're constantly trying to find something that works. And a lot of us we would carry multiple lines, or do carry multiple lines, and we're kind of cherry picking from all of those. Because we've got some that we like, some that we don't, some that we kind of feel like is actually doing something, some, you're not sure. I never felt really sold on anything. So when my clients were coming in and getting their treatments, of course it's, you gotta give them skincare. They got to go home and take care of their skin, right? It's kind of like going to the dentist and getting your teeth cleaned and not going home and brushing your teeth. So we gotta do that. It's really important. We don't want to send them down to CVS to get a lay or something. But I'm probably not alone in the fact that I'm putting people on these products and I'm never wowed, and I'm kind of always crossing my fingers going, gosh, I hope this works. Gosh, right. I hope this helps their pigment. Gosh, I hope this helps their acne. So I was really frustrated. I was always searching for something new, something different, something that worked. And I was always that esthetician that I didn't want what everybody else had. There's a few lines out there that are kind of everybody's got them. They're on every shelf in pretty much every practice. And I always worked really hard at setting myself apart. And so I was really fortunate to stumble upon Janet Kendall, who is the owner of Laskin Medical Skin Systems and Corium Corrective 360, which we launched together. Laskin is our prescription skincare line, and that's been around for about 18 years. And you've got to have a medical director for that. A lot of estheticians just don't have one. It's a gray area, hard to get. And so I got with her and I said, we need a line that estheticians can use that is going to deliver results, that is as close to prescription skincare as we can get, as close to Laskin as we can get it. We want to fix skin. We want to make a difference. We're tired of crossing our fingers and hoping we're not lying to our clients all the time. So I got on board with her. We launched Corium, and honestly, that just quickly took over my life. I had to give up my practice because I couldn't do both well. So I still see clients every once in a while. I have a studio here at my home that we built out, and I still, I still keep my hands in it a little bit, but I'm not actively practicing because I just can't juggle both proficiently. So that's kind of that's my little story.
You know what? And one thing that you touched that you said that's really interesting is just because again, as heading up this group with over 18,000 estheticians and I'm being a part of other groups, I'll see so many questions when it comes to skincare, when it comes to what products to use, how to use it, and what you said is like I see so many of them where estheticians are not confident in the products because they're crossing their fingers and hoping it'll work, right? What do they say? Sometimes you almost don't want to hear back from the client because sometimes what do they say? No news is good news. And if you hear back, I've seen all these pictures like, hey, I did this or I did this peel on this client, and they sent all these pictures back saying they had this adverse reaction. So one of the questions I have is where do like from your experience, how do estheticians end up with a lot of the product lines that they carry? Is it just because they're popular? Is it because that's just what they were taught in school? How do they end up with those lines?
Yeah. A lot of them are just, they just have really good branding and really good marketing. And they're out there, they've got, good marketing people behind them. And, they're very good on social media. They're very good at, presenting themselves, at the shows, at, on Instagram and all of that. I mean, some of these lines have been around forever and a day. They've been around for ages. They may learn about them in school. I don't know. There's a lot out there. This is a very, very confusing industry. Not only for the consumer, but for the esthetician, because there is so much, it's saturated. And I will tell you that most of these lines are that they're using the same two main labs. A lot of them are duplicated. In other words, that lab will make a product and a company will buy that product, package it themselves, put their name on it, but that same product is in 4, 5, 10 other lines. And I have personally experienced that. So we're not, we're just talking about mass produced skincare that's in some really pretty packaging, and estheticians, we like pretty things. We like pretty bottles. We like pretty marketing. We like all of that. And we get sucked in. Yep. It just happens. Yeah.
You know what's ironic? As I'm hearing you talk about this, that's exactly where I think a lot of the confusion comes for the end client as well. The end clients are using things like Proactive, CeraVe, Mary Kay, Roden Fields, pretty much all these brands that have been marketed well, right? But at the same time, it's rare to see a lot of people are not happy with their skin, and they're spending their hard-earned money, the time, they're trusting these products. So I never thought of that as the same thing for estheticians, saying, well, estheticians are dealing with the same thing. You know what? It's interesting that you said that.
Yeah, estheticians, I think, are very confused as well. So if the estheticians are confused, you can imagine how confused a consumer is. I mean, think about it. You go in CVS or Walgreens or wherever, you're inundated with skincare. You go to Sephora and Ulta, inundated with skincare. Watch TV, there it is. Social media, there it is. Your neighbor's cousin's best friend's skincare party, there it is. I mean, it's everywhere. And clients or consumers don't know. And then the estheticians, what's happening in our industry with them is there's so much out there. And of course, everybody's got the best thing, so they say. They're really teaching bad information, Wick. Our industry is so full of just untruths. And I don't know if it's because the people that are teaching this information don't know themselves, or if they've just got a product to sell and they're saying whatever they got to say to sell it. But the education alone is horrible. And it's a big challenge for Janet and I because we're trying to undo a lot of really bad information. And one of our things that we say a lot to people is our goal is to bring truth and integrity to an industry that has lost it and is really lacking in it. And so that's our goal. And I'll tell you that when you start working with these products and you get your clients on them, I'm sorry, everybody, I've got 3 little Shih Tzus here and it's 11 o'clock, so they may bark. When your clients start using these products, man, do they notice a difference quick. It doesn't take long. And by quick, I mean within a matter of days. They know they're on something that works for the first time. There is no BS in our line, none.
Yeah, and you know what? The one story that really pulled me over to dive into Corium is one of the estheticians, Diane, and she had invested, I think it was 28,000 in a hydrofacial machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, that's a good chunk of change. Like I one of the things I tell estheticians is try to keep it as simple as possible, just because you invest in a heavy piece of machinery like a hydrofacial doesn't mean you're going to get more clients. Meaning, sure, it's an additional tool that you have, but it's an expensive investment. So when I spoke with Diane, and she's Corium Corrective 360, and she goes, Wick, ever since I've been using Corium Corrective 360, I don't use my hydrofacial machine anymore. And that just hit me like a ton of bricks, saying, wait a minute, Diane, hold your horses right there. You're telling me these products have replaced a almost $30,000 piece of machinery? She goes, yes. And I asked that question, I go, Diane, if you would have discovered Corium Corrective 360 before you invested in the hydrofacial machine, would you still have invested in that hydrofacial machine? She goes, Wick, absolutely not. Save yourselves, a car, right? 30 grand's a car, right? It's a down payment for a house, right? A lot of times estheticians believe because it's got that name, that marketing, that this tool, and I'm not saying a hydrofacial machine, I see the results, I see what they do. However, if a product can get similar results, I would try that product first before investing in that, right? Like tell me, is Corium Corrective 360, is it that good where it could go head to head with the hydrofacial system?
Absolutely. Absolutely. No doubt. A lot of times what happens, for instance, with the hydrofacial, they've got, like you just said, they've got great marketing, they've got great branding. And again, it's estheticians or medical spas or whatever that want to keep up with the, I guess, trend is the word. It's out there. It's a recognizable name.
Yeah.
Consumers are familiar with it. And so they want to keep up with that. That's a pricey way of keeping up. But they feel like they need to, and I understand that. I was kind of not terribly there, but I was there a long time ago, and I understand. I will tell you that when you're carrying Corium, when you're doing our treatments, when you are prescribing our products to your clients, really, you can't believe what you can do with our products, our complexes, all of our back bar treatments, our professional treatments, a dermaplane blade, a nano device, and a microneedling pen. Now, that's not to say you've got a microneedle. I know a lot of states don't allow that, but if you can do that, nano, or even microcurrent, and I didn't used to be a fan of microcurrent. I've kind of got on board with that a little bit more lately. My point for saying all this is to say you don't need a lot of this expensive equipment to change skin, correct skin, and keep that skin beautiful and healthy, and wow people, get referrals, client loyalty. I'm telling you, it just comes. I mean, if you've got those, if you've got that equipment already, we can pair nicely with it. But man, I sure would tell an esthetician right out of school, please don't do that straight away. Don't go
Yes.
into debt right now. Don't.
So
Just wait.
speaking of results, let's look at some of these. So these are some of the pictures that you had sent me where folks that were struggling with, you know, various conditions, and they were on Corium Corrective 360, and the changes are insane. So share with us a little bit about what's going on here.
Yeah, that was actually my client. And she was getting ready to go off to college and was, you know, just same old thing with acne, tried everything, been to the derm, nothing worked. You know, that whole song and dance we all hear. And actually we got her clear, or I got her clear, in probably 45 days to 2 months. She was crystal clear. May have been shorter time than that. I mean, when with our acne program, with our acne products, you see results really fast. Like within the first week, you start to see major changes in that inflammation, in that in the texture, just the reduction in acne. It's pretty amazing. I'm not saying we're going to clear and correct the skin in a week. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that your clients will see huge changes in a matter of days. And that's a good thing, because that they know then that they're on the right track, that they're doing something finally that works. They're working with somebody that cares, and they're not blowing their money. And not only do we get them clear, but we keep them clear. This is not a we're going to get you clear and then you can go back and buy, you know, whatever garbage from, you know, CVS or whatever. Nope, we this is a, you know, this is a forever thing. We get you clear, we keep you clear. And you're going to have beautiful skin for the rest of your life. And that's what we do.
And that's insane. Like if you can go from here to there in a matter of, like you said, what was it, 45 days, right? You know, let's just call it 2 months. Let's call it even 60 days, right? Like a lot of people that have struggled with acne, like they've been struggling for a while, right? Meaning a lot of people I know, they've been struggling for years, and they've tried this product or that product, and they've just been hopping on various bandwagons. But how much time and energy would people save? And more importantly, like for estheticians, right? Like look at these results that you can get clients, and these are typical results, right? These are not atypical for Corium Corrective.
This is typical. That right there was a cakewalk.
Yeah.
That was a cakewalk. I mean, if you've got a client that is compliant, and that's key. I mean, your client has to be on board. They can't go home and get lazy on you and not do what they're supposed to do, and, you know, not do their nighttime routine because they're tired and, you know, they want to go to bed, or whatever. I mean, you've got, you know, it's a we're going to do this together kind of thing. So you're on board with helping them. They're on board with helping themselves. It's a win every time. I will tell you this, and I really want everybody to hear this, because this is a very big deal. When I first met Janet and I was bringing products in, and she was going to be sending me all of these acne products along with everything else, my lane was age management. When I would see acne clients come through my door, I was referring them out, because I was so frustrated, because I could halfway clear them. I never did a great job. And I'm not the kind of person that wants to cheat my clients out of what they deserve. And I don't feel good about taking money from anybody when I can't give them 100%. So I just wasn't taking them. I was, you know, very honest, and I would say, look, this is not my lane. This is challenging, and acne people can be challenging, because a lot of them, you know, a lot of them want this cleared yesterday. And some of them are like, I just, you know, I want to take a pill and be done. Well, you and I both know swallowing a pill for this doesn't always work. Most of the time it doesn't. Kind of lazy, especially when you're talking about teenagers. They're a little challenging. Their parents are challenging. It's just challenging. And then I didn't have great options for home care, because yeah, I could work on acne in my treatment room. But again, you know, it's back to going home and doing nothing. And I'm sending them home with, you know, nothing that works. So you actually were just farming that out then.
because
I was
you
farming
weren't
it out.
comfortable, you weren't confident with it, right?
No.
But more importantly, and I want everybody to listen to this, right? So like if you're not comfortable, you're not confident, and more importantly, if you're sending clients home with whatever product line you're using and they're not getting that results, it's hard to feel good, because clients are going to come back and say, hey, I'm spending this money with you, I'm doing with this, and there's just what kind of answer can you really give, right? I mean, it's just one of those things. But more
already
importantly,
frustrated. They've already chances are these people have already been to multiple dermatologists. They've been to their general practitioner. They've bought Proactive. They've bought, whatever else off television. They've been to the other, everywhere else that sells skincare. I mean, these people are frustrated. They've tried orals. They've tried oral meds. They've tried topical meds, or both. So Janet tells me she's sending me all this acne stuff. And I said, and this was before I knew better, I said, no, I don't want that. I don't deal with acne. And she laughed and still hear that today. She laughed and I was like, what? She goes, you're getting acne products and you're going to treat acne.
So,
and
the reason
I don't want to.
And the reason you were hesitant is because of the past, right? Because you just weren't confident.
Because of the past. I didn't know. What happened for me was my business went from, and I'm throwing numbers out there, I don't actually have a set figure, but I'm going to guess and say my business went from probably 80% age management and 20% acne to 70% acne, 30% age management. And I would have never, ever, ever in my life believed that was going to happen to me. But I got to tell you, the reward for that, just in your heart, is huge. What you can do for people, changing their lives that way, just, man, it feels good. And secondary is what it did for my bank account. Incredible. The referrals, I had so many referrals, I couldn't even keep up. It was insane. I just couldn't believe it. And what I really wanted to say here, the point I really wanted to make too, was I can now look at a client when they're walking out the door and I can say to them, I don't fail. We don't fail. 100 times out of 100, we are going to get you clear. You do what I say. You do what I'm asking you to do, and I will get you clear, and I will keep you clear, and I don't fail. And don't you fail me. You listen, you do what I'm asking, and we got this.
You know what's crazy? Like listen to yourself. Like everybody, listen to Terri. Like if she is speaking to you like that, with that confidence, right? And to me, that's a big part of it, right? So you went from doing very little acne to 70%, you said, right? That was a transition from being hesitant towards working it to basically farming that out because you weren't confident. So what changed? How did you, what changed from being that low to acne being your main, ailment that you work on?
Gosh, that's simple. It was finally having products that work. I mean, and what everybody listening needs to understand, as estheticians, we are very treatment driven, right? We're in our practices. We've got clients on that bed. We're treating them. We've got our hands on them. We enjoy it. We love that contact. We love doing those treatments. It's why we got licensed, right? That is just such a tiny, tiny piece of what we do. So I want everybody to hear me when I say this. What your clients do at home is everything, because they are making changes to that skin 60 times a month, 2 times a day. You got a client that comes in and sees you once a month, if you're lucky, every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks, every 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is. Every time they come in, Wick, you're starting back from ground zero.
Yeah.
You're back at ground zero. So, it's treatments are important. I'm not saying treatments aren't important. They are. But what they're doing at home, making changes to that skin, cellular changes to that skin 60 times a month. Think about that. That's everything. That's huge.
Right. And so for example, on this one, what's going on here?
That was my client, my little Lainey. Lainey has been clear for 3 years now. I actually did a little video, which I think I sent to you, Wick. Do you remember that video I sent you with a drawer full of product?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
her,
So
and her mom?
yeah,
That's
so
Lainey's
everybody,
mom.
so everybody here, Terry sent me a video where they're opening a drawer, and it's just an insane amount of products and creams and something. And one thing I heard just recently from Drew Patton, which I loved, and I use this phrase all the time: the most expensive product is the one that doesn't work. So if your
Yes.
clients, right, have drawers and just full of products, and it's heartache, it's time spent, it's money spent, and those products are just, that's expensive, right?
That's right. I mean, if you spend $20 on a cleanser and it's garbage, it's $20 wasted. Wasted money is wasted money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lainey, I was the last resort for them. Another client, her mom had put up a post. We're dear friends now. Her mom put up a post on Facebook. One of my clients saw it. She was asking about anybody that had done Accutane, because Lainey's dermatologist, her second or third dermatologist now, told her, don't come back until you're ready to do Accutane. I've done all I can for you.
Wow. They basically gave him an ultimatum, right? That's it. Go, don't come back unless you're ready to sign.
Yeah, because she had been on, and if you look at that video in that drawer, I mean, there are tubes and tubes and bottles of and Aisha said, her mom said that some of those were like $500 a tube. It was insane what they were spending. And so it was so funny, Wick, because when my other client referred her to me, she called me straight away, and I said, yeah, bring her in, we'll get her clear. And it was like she was so taken aback with what I was saying. Like, that was just she wanted to go on and on and on about, how much she tried. Well, hold on now. We've done this and we've done that. I said, I don't care what she's done. I'm good. Just bring her in. I'll clear her. Is she ready to get clear? Is she ready? She's serious? Oh my gosh. Yeah. I said, then bring her in. I don't need to know all this. We're good. Just bring her in. She did not know what to make of that. Got her in, and of course got her clear. I'm very close to them to this day. And ladies, her skin's gorgeous, beautiful girl, beautiful, confident girl.
I can only imagine what was going on in Lainey's mind and her mom's mind, because here's you, Terri, telling them to go, don't worry, just come in. I got this. And they probably tried everything under the sun. Like I will put that video of that drawer in here. But if y'all see it, and they tried this and they tried that, and the derm is just saying nothing's gonna work. It's gonna be Accutane or nothing. And here's you with just saying, nope, I got this. Don't even worry. I got this, right? Like that mom must have thought you're just full of shit.
She did.
Right?
She did. She knows better now, but at that time she was like, and it was so funny, Wick, because let me tell you what she said to me. She is a preacher's wife. Her husband's not preaching anymore, but she was a preacher's wife, and they were involved in a very, very large church here. And I'm in the South, and big churches are everywhere, and there's a lot of people that like to talk in those big churches. Mm-hmm. And Asia has a huge following. Very well known in a good way. She loves to talk. She's a talker. And she told me when she brought Lainey in, she said, I'm going to tell you, if this works, I'm going to blow your business up. I hope you're ready. And a lot of times people will say that, oh, I'll send you some business. Oh, I'll send you some referrals. And, you're like, okay, maybe I'll get one or two or whatever. People just kind of say that.
Yeah.
When I say she sent me referrals, she meant it. I had people coming out of the woodwork at me to clear their acne. It was crazy. And she's still trying to send me people. And I'm like, Asia, I don't take new clients anymore. So yeah, you can make changes like that for people The referrals are insane, and people want to share that because acne's tough. It's tough.
Acne. Okay, and this here, I'm not an esthetician. Is this what's going on here? This doesn't look like acne.
Yeah, so this is some acne, but that's rosacea there, Wick.
Okay.
So she's got some rosacea going on there, and there's some acne lesions associated with that. And a lot of times, rosacea can be pustular as well. This is actually, her name is Sandra Day. She's an esthetician down in Sarasota, Florida. This is one of our accounts. This is her daughter who had struggled with acne for with rosacea for years. And actually Sandra and her daughter, I can't remember where her daughter lives, but it's not close. She doesn't even live in Florida. So what you're seeing here is product only. She never got one treatment, not one.
Wow.
That's all home care right there. And I will tell you that she got that result in under a month.
And so this was an esthetician's daughter?
Yes.
So
who had tried everything from that esthetician.
that I didn't first of all, I didn't know that. Right. So this is the esthetician's daughter, and the esthetician trained in skincare and probably used who knows what products that she initially bought or got sold on or what have you. And that she couldn't get these results for her daughter, but your product. So before, was the esthetician using Corium Corrective 360 before that or not? How did you and the esthetician connect to do this?
I'm not really sure how Sandra found us. I will say that Sandra, and we've got a few estheticians who are they've been around for a good long time. They've been practicing estheticians for, 25, 30, 35 years. Right. And I will tell you that I have testimonials from them where they say, these are estheticians that have been used, they probably used everything that there is. And I've got, like I said, I've got testimonials from them where they say they've never experienced anything like this in their careers. I don't know what she was carrying prior to Corium. I'm not sure. But she definitely used it on her daughter. Her daughter had tried it, tried everything. So it's blown away. And like I said, that was under a month. And she's still beautiful, still clear, still happy. We're good. We don't get you clear and then you fall off the wagon. Nope, we're going to keep you there. This is for life.
Wow. And this looks like a tough one.
Oh, yes. I'm so glad I sent you that. I was so scared I hadn't sent you that, Wick. I hope everybody can zoom in on that. That's some pretty seriously bad acne. Yeah. Yeah. So, you guys that do skin, you can see she's got some scarring left from that acne, and we've got some PIH we need to clean up, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. That's a cakewalk too. Listen, for us, PIH is nothing. Melasma, nothing. We can knock out pigment so easily, guys. It's a joke. So that right there, that client started, that's an esthetician of ours. Her name is Jessica Gerard. That client started in October, and that after picture was taken in January. So that's 3 months, Wick. That's crazy. Wow. That's some seriously infected skin right there. That's a lot of infection.
Wow. You know what? It cracks me up, Terri, is like whenever you look at this picture and go, oh, that's a cakewalk. And to all the estheticians watching this right now, right? Imagine clients that come in and it's not intimidating. You don't have to, because again, I'm a part of so many of these groups, and estheticians will take a picture and they'll put it in the groups. Hey, what do I do? Hey, what's going on here? Hey, can you help me? Imagine, y'all, if this kind of skin comes in, and for you, it doesn't even phase you. Like how Terri says, it's a cakewalk. It's easy. We don't fail. I got this, right? And that's crazy because Terri, one of the things that really impressed me about Corium Corrective 360 is when you just said, Wick, we do not fail. 100 out of 100. And to me, that's the confidence that I'm comfortable with. Like, you know, I just love that, how that sounds, is you take the guesswork out of it, right? Does that sound about right?
Absolutely. I There is no way in Hades that I am going to come out publicly and do what I do and not know what the heck I'm talking about. I'm just not going to do it. It's my word, it's my reputation that matters a lot to me. And I wouldn't do it if it wasn't true. I mean, it's changed my life. It's changed my career path. I gave up a very lucrative practice to do this and to share this with other estheticians. I never, I used to have my clients say, Terry, you should teach. And I'm like, oh, nope, my butt's going to be in this chair until I retire. I'm happy right here in this chair behind this bed. This is where I'm going to be. And then I found Janet and all of this happened. And you never know where life's going to take you. And Janet's an incredible woman in our industry. She's probably one of the, if not the smartest person in our industry. She's brilliant. It took me an hour or two to teach her how to do a screenshot on a phone, but skincare, she's nailed it. But Janet's a little introverted. She's not real comfortable putting herself out there. And so that's why she has me. And I knew that she needed me, and I knew that clients needed this stuff. And you know, I've mentored estheticians for a while before I got into this, and I love my fellow estheticians, and I love this industry, and I saw such a huge need for change, and you know, products that work. There's so much frustration, and I was like, the only way we're going to get this out there and make real change is for me to get out there and do it and share it. And so that's what I've done.
Because confidence is so important in this industry, right? Like, if people can, Terry, if I can just get that confidence that you have when you say, I got this 100% cakewalk, you know, if we can get that kind of language and pull it out of your brain and start implanting it within other estheticians. So are you telling me, like, a new esthetician, you know, fresh out of school, if she got set up with Corium, that she could get similar results for her clients?
Really. Because what we do is, listen, when you come out of school, most people know just enough to have passed their boards. You really, you know, you're very fortunate if you went to a school where you learned much more than that. So most, when they come out of school, they know very little, and that's when your real learning starts. And then that's where we get derailed. Excuse me, guys, I knocked my phone. That's where we start to get derailed, because that's where the bad education comes in. And then what we're challenged with now is trying to undo all of that. Because once that's been drilled into your head and you've got all that in there, it's really hard to undo that. So we love to get somebody right out of school. We love that, because you know what? They're fresh. They're fresh. They don't have bad habits, bad information for us to undo. So that's not to say we can't work with people that have been doing this a while. We can, but right out of school, and we hold your hand. I don't know of any company where the formulator and the owner is taking calls and they are on the phone in that treatment room with those estheticians. We teach you how to read the skin. Estheticians, most of them, they don't really know how to read that skin properly. You think you do, but you don't. We can teach you how to detect yeast, infection. You know, rosacea is so misdiagnosed out there. So that we've got a product that you have to be careful with the word cure, but we can really give people with eczema a lot of relief. We can do a lot. I've got a really, really smart woman behind me. And I'm just sharing it with everybody so that they can go out and share that with their clients and give them the confidence to go on a date, to go to prom, to go on a job interview, you know, all of that. It's a big deal. It's a very big deal. And like I said earlier, it's just the rewards in your heart are huge, and your bank account does pretty well too.
Hey,
So
you know what? There's I love this saying. You can do well for yourself by doing good in the community. Because when you're dealing with some of these conditions, right? And again, here I'm gonna go right back to this one, right? When you're looking at this is tough, yo, right? Especially when someone has tried this and tried that and done all these things. Uh, if you can have the confidence and of course, you know that really blew my mind, Terry, when I heard how involved you are with the estheticians, right? That you're involved, you help with this, you help with that, because I don't see that as much. There's a lot of reps. They'll of course they'll do what they can, but it's spread so thin. But I see how involved you are with your estheticians, and you're guiding them through the process. You're helping them with their clients. What's up with that? What's going on?
well, we have to, because you can't go rogue with these products. One thing that happens in our industry a lot is we put everybody in a box. So acne people are in this box, pigment people are in this box, age management people are in this box. You know, everybody's in a box. All ingredients are in a box.
Mhm.
You know, you can't. You have to treat the skin that's in front of you. You can't cookie cutter this. You know, you have your basic general guidelines, right? But then there's times where you have to sway from those. You treat the skin that's in front of you. You treat the person that's in front of you. And you can't go rogue with these products because they're active and they
Yeah.
work, and you have to have guidance. I'm on the phone with estheticians all day. Terry, I've got my client here. I'm sending you some pictures, and a lot of times our estheticians, they don't have the firm hand that they need yet. So they'll call me and I'll say, put me on speaker, and I can help them with that firm hand. And I can talk to their client in a way that is professional and nice, but I know how to be firm, and maybe they're not quite there yet. So I help them in that way. I help them with, what treatments to do, what products. Their clients coming in and saying, I've been doing this and that. Well, no, you haven't. I can look at their skin and tell they haven't. And I'll call them out. But that takes confidence.
Yeah.
The more you learn, the more confident you get. It just takes some time.
Yeah. So one thing that actually held me back from working with Corium was when I heard that you only allow estheticians to work with you that are only using Corium product. So for example, many estheticians are using this product or that product. They have a whole back bar. They have this and this and this. So when I heard that if you work with Corium Corrective 360, that you're not allowed to use other products, and I was like, I don't know if that's going to sit well with the estheticians. But my mind changed. But why don't you share with us a little bit of why that is, and kind of go from there?
Sure. So, just FYI, so that I don't forget to say this, in our Facebook group, there is a list of products, and there's quite a few on there that you can use and work with, and not be prescribing our products for home care. So if you're not, an active Corium account, but you want to, and I won't get into all of our treatments and stuff, but there are certain things that I think everybody should have, whether they carry Corium or not. So that list is in the group. But as far as carrying our products and prescribing our products, we have to make sure that we are all on the same page with that, because you cannot mix molecular weights. You cannot mix we have very, very, very low molecular weights in our products. And if you go and you mix that, we're going to be all screwed up. It's going to be a mess. So we don't do that because it's like, well, you're only going to carry ours and we don't want you to carry anybody else's. And so there, it's not that. I'm not that high and mighty. We have to do this, and we have to do it right. It's got to be done right. And you cannot mix molecular weights. And what I found was, because we tried it the other way for a while, where estheticians would have multiple lines in there, including ours. And we were getting calls from their clients, and somehow we always know. And they would call because they were, you know, wanting to get it cheaper. We don't sell online, by the way, either. So that's a big thing. And I would say, well, what all are you using? Well, I'm using this and this, and I'm using your CNE and this. And I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. So I gave everybody the benefit of the doubt for a while, and it just didn't work out. So we said no more. And really and truthfully, once you use this, and you are fixing and correcting skin, this changes the way that you look at treating the skin so much. You don't want to use anything else. You wouldn't have. I've had estheticians say to me, Terri, if something happened and these products went away, I would just quit. I would just quit aesthetics. I couldn't go back to anything else. It's that good. Yeah. Diane Ruff is one of them. Diane Ruff told me that one day right out here in my studio. She goes, Terri, if anything ever happens to this stuff, I won't be able to practice anymore.
No.
Yeah.
It's, you know what, and it's so, I was speaking to somebody about Corium Corrective 360, and they're using a different product line. And I told them this. I go, hey, well, here's the deal. You know, if you become a Corium account, you know, you only use Corium. And they're like, well, Wick, I don't know. And I said this, and it made them go, I said this. I go, let me ask you a question. Do you care more about the products that you're carrying or the results that you're getting? Because if you're able to get results, let me share the screen again, because I love this picture, right? If you're able to get results like this, right? Do you care what name is on the bottle? Because if you are getting the results, you are like 100 out of 100 are gonna help and heal the skin. Do you really care where it's coming from? Because if it's good stuff, it's coming ethically and, you know, all that other good stuff, but it's getting these results, you know, like you mentioned. And it's interesting because I did speak to some other estheticians, and I go, hey, you know, so you're only carrying Corium? They're like, yeah. And I'm like, well, do you feel constrained? They're like, why would we carry anything else because of the results, right? Like if you can, you know, again, help and heal and get these results, why would you want to do that? And I think a lot of estheticians in the beginning are hesitant and standoffish because they go, well, I want all these things. But then if you go, but why? Right? And that was an interesting conversation.
Well, you know, a lot of times I have somebody in mind who's a friend of mine, and you know, I sat back and watched what happened with their account. They defined success as an office full of product from all of these lines and pretty packaging, and we've got all of this from this line and all of this from this line and all of this from this line and all of this from this line, and it made them feel like they were successful. That's how they defined, you know, I hate to say it, but it's kind of look at us, look at us, look at everything we have in here. It's, you know, we are successful. We have all of this for you. Here it is. None of it works, by the way. But, you know, clients don't know that at first. You don't have loyalty that way, by the way, because they'll buy it and they'll trust you for a minute. And then they're not getting the results. And you know what they're doing? They're off trying the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. That doesn't happen with us. Once they use these products, they're yours, and they can't go on Amazon and get them. They can't go on Walmart.com and get them. They can't get them from our website. They can only get them from you. And I will tell you that I have people's clients reaching out to me all the time. I hear some of the best stories about how they found us. And I you know, we're small, and it doesn't take me long to find out who somebody actually belongs to. And all they're doing is they're calling to see if they can get it cheaper. They do that all the time. And we don't sell to them. When COVID happened and all these companies were jumping ship and selling online to everybody's clients, that March of 2020, we had the best year, with the best month in our history. March 2020, we killed it. We weren't
Wow.
selling online, and our estheticians were blowing it up because people didn't want to be without their skincare, and they could only get it from their estheticians. We don't sell it. We can't anyway. If we sold online, Wick, our company would fail. I mean, it would be a mess because you cannot go rogue with these products. And I'm not saying they're hard to use, but I'm just saying they're very active and they've got to be used correctly.
Yep.
So that's why we do a lot of hand holding, and we need estheticians. And I want to make sure that I am really putting this out there. We will help anybody that is interested in practicing corrective skincare. They're not lazy. They want to do this. They want to help their clients. And I'll tell you, when you do that, when you do things right, the money comes. The money follows. Put your passion first, and the money will follow. And we'll be right there behind you. I will help anybody that wants help. But if you're lazy and you want to come in and do some facials and go home, you're not our people.
No. So you know what? I remember hearing a story because there's so many people in the group that I know. One of the gals, Donna, amazing friend of mine, love Donna to death. And the owner, Janet, went and was looking over Donna's shoulder, helping her out with her business. And because Corium Corrective is not a cheap product, right? It is an investment of skin to get these kind of results. And I remember Janet told me the story of how Donna was gonna, the service was done, gonna, recommend all these products to take home, and the bill was gonna be about $500, right? And Donna, bless her heart, Donna, bless you, Donna, but Donna was a little bit hesitant about presenting that, and she went to Janet, and Janet told her, she goes, Donna, do not, do not spend the client's money for her. This is her money, right? So how do you guys help with some of those things as well? And again, so Donna did it. That client didn't even hem or haw. Here's my plastic, 500 in retail, cha-ching.
Well, oh my gosh, I could talk so long about that. I'll try to narrow it down to a few things. So first of all, you're right. You can't spend your client's money.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, sorry, Wick, but this is a female dominated industry. Men want to look good too. I wish we would start tapping more into men's skincare because men want to look good. You know that, but this is a female dominated industry. And I will tell you, us girls, when we want something bad enough, we're going to find a way to get it. When I was a single mom and I found a cute pair of shoes and I didn't know how I was going to get them, man, I tell you what, I figured out how to get those shoes. I figured out how to get what I wanted. Girl, we do that as girls. We're just like, I want that. I'm going to figure it out. So they want that. They want that beautiful, healthy skin. They're going to find a way to get it. Never underestimate that. The third thing is our products last a really long time because they are so concentrated. So for instance, our CNE to the client is 115. But guess what, Wick? You need the size of a grain of rice. Okay. You're not, you know how big a grain of rice is. That's what's
CNE? What's CNE?
CNE is our vitamin C, and it's got E in it. Yeah. Okay. So it's called Nourishing CNE. Man, is it awesome. That's a favorite of mine. But it's 115 to the client. That's retail. Mm-hmm. But you're using the size of a grain of rice. So that's going to last them, I don't know, 5 months, 6 months.
Right.
So it's 115, but look how long it's going to last. So you have to educate your client on how to use things properly. And you also have to talk to them about what you said earlier, that person that you mentioned. What was that saying? Money waste, something about wasted money.
The most expensive product is the one that doesn't work.
It's a great analogy. I mean, like I said, you can go spend $20 on a cleanser and it's garbage and it's wasted. So people will invest in those products because they work, and they're going to know that they work very quickly. We don't get returns. We don't get people with buyer's remorse. They know very quickly that they have finally hit a gold mine. They finally found something that works. And all the BS out there, they finally found something that works. And they don't care, but they last anyway. They last a really long time. you have to educate your clients. Talk to them about investing in your skin. That's all the skin you have, Wick. You know, we see clients coming in with, you know, high-end shoes, high-end handbags, driving some pretty expensive cars. You know, that car gets parked. Those clothes get hung up on a hanger in the closet. Those shoes get thrown in the floor. That skin is on you every single day for the rest of your life. Invest in it. It's worth it.
So, you know, one of the things, Terri, that you mentioned earlier that I think is super duper important, right? And I have a saying, I'm not happy with an interview until I piss a couple of people off, right? Referrals are important in the business, right? Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Right, referrals, testimonials, etc. And one of the things that you mentioned was that gal from the church who is sending you an endless amount of referrals. Here, let me tell you all something. And please, you know, remember, in this group, my goal, I want nothing but the best for each and every one of you. Like, hopefully y'all know that about me. I'm not full of shit. I'm not trying to do this. I'm not trying to sell you things all the time, but I want nothing but the best for you. A lot of estheticians are not getting the referrals because they are not generating the results like this. Because if you are doing super duper good and you're getting these kind of results back to back to back to back, right? People, they will talk. People will ask this person, oh my God, how did your skin, how did that happen, right? People, you can't help but brag and talk and share that esthetician's name and information because they changed lives. So when I say this, a lot of estheticians, you're not getting referrals because you're just not getting the results. You're not creating the experience. Because if you were, like Terri, I don't know about you, but I've been to restaurants, I've been to places that just blew my mind, that helped me, right? Like I'm with Corium now because y'all done so much for my wife, and I, you know, I'm just a raving fan. Anyone that comes to me, Corium, you know, oh my God, let me share with you, right? So, you know, does that make sense? Meaning if that helps, could estheticians get more referrals, more testimonials because they're deeply changing lives?
Yeah, because a lot of times if you see a client and they don't come back again, you know, I would imagine there's a lot of you that don't follow up and go ask why. You know, they just came and they're gone. Or maybe you saw them a few times and they never came back. Well, chances are they didn't get the results, they weren't wowed, and they've moved on to something else to try to get the results that they want. You know, and you never know why you lost them. It takes a lot to get a client in the door. We have to work very hard to get a body in the door. When you've got them in the door, you know, every time a client walked through my door, I might have been tired. I might have been on my feet all day. I'm so ready to go home and snuggle my puppies and have dinner and all of that stuff. But I looked at that client and I went, they chose me. Out of everybody in Charlotte, and Charlotte is a very vain city, and there's an esthetician on a med spa on every corner. And I would look at them and I would go, I gotta treat them just like the client that came in at noon today, and it's 8 o'clock, but I gotta be ready for them, and I gotta keep them because it was hard getting them here. So you gotta appreciate everybody that comes through the door, unless they're just nasty to you. That's another story. But generally speaking, you know, you got to get them in and you got to wow them. You got to wow them right out of the gate, and you got to hold on to them because they're precious. It's hard to get clients in. This is a tough industry, and you got to keep them. And you wow them, you will get referrals. And I will tell you, there's no amount of anything that you can do that's going to bring you the business like referrals will.
Yep.
Referrals are everything. That should be where the bulk of your business comes from, is referrals. And how does that happen? By fixing skin, by correcting skin, by taking beautiful skin. We can take somebody with the most gorgeous skin you have ever seen, and we can make it better. I promise you. I promise you.
I love that. I'm already sold. I'm hoping that everyone watching this, you can feel like forget about what Terri is saying. Can you feel her conviction? Right? That conviction comes from believing in your product, but by believing that this is going to make a difference, that this is the answer, that your client is going to love you because you were able to help that client without second guessing, without worrying, without having the fear of what if it doesn't work, without saying, oh my God, you know, having to go in a group and posting pictures and all that stuff. Well, another thing, Terri, is like the products, Corium products, you know, they last a long time. You know, they do cost a little bit more, you know, but the good thing that I love is like that saying, right? The most expensive product is the one that doesn't work, right? When something does work, one, you also get a higher caliber of clients because people that are using this are gonna use it. And I hear that from estheticians all the time. Well, you know, I don't know what's going on with the home care. I don't know what's going on there. They're not using it. They're not doing this, right? How are Corium clients a little bit different because they actually use the stuff?
Well, I mean, you're going to be getting clients that are actually dedicated. And, you know, we're all going to have those clients that just, you know, want to come in for a one-off. Maybe they just want to treat themselves, or they want to, you know, come in and have a girls' day out, or whatever. And you know, we appreciate them. We appreciate those people that come in. Sure, we do. But generally speaking, you're going to build a loyal client base because they're going to appreciate what you've done for them, especially when they've got some serious skin issues. They're yours for life. They're yours forever. And they're going to talk and talk and talk. They're going to want to share that, especially with people that have got some really bad skin that have struggled. So you're going to get a very loyal client base. And I'll tell you this too. It's interesting talking about, you know, caliber of people and who are your clients and all of that. You know, I have found, and I bet you there's a lot of estheticians that are going to listen to this that are going to agree with me here. I would get more nitpicked and nickeled and dimed by the people who I knew had a lot of money. Some of my best clients cleaned houses for a living. And listen, I'm not knocking that. You know, my housekeeper, I treasure her. She's part of our family. I love her. But you know, they would work their tails off and come in and they want to look good. You know, that women want to look good. It doesn't matter what they do for a living. The middle class and the middle class people seem to be our people as estheticians. They're the ones that spend the money. You know, I've like I said, I had clients with money, but they were a lot more difficult to deal with. They just were. I don't know what that's about. Maybe they just want to hold on to it a little longer. I don't know. But yeah, so you got clients for life. You fix their skin, you change their skin, they're yours. They're not going anywhere. You can't use Corium wick and go back, just like the estheticians have said to us, we can't go back and practice with anything else. The clients are going to feel the same. They're not going to go back to using, you know, Drunk Elephant or, you know, Olay or Neutrogena or what. Oh my gosh, no, that's done. It's behind them. They would never go back.
And you know, that's awesome. So what else? What is another thing that you see estheticians doing that maybe could better help them with their business, or what are some other areas that you feel would help them be more successful?
Yeah, I think just, you know, bringing in products like ours that work, that actually make a difference. Taking pride in what you do, taking what you do seriously, taking your time with your clients. You know, when I was practicing, I saw, I rarely saw more than 4 clients a day. Sometimes 5, depending on the day, but it was most of the time 4.
Mm-hmm.
I was not somebody that rushed my clients in and out. I wanted to take my time, teach them, educate them, make sure they understood what we were doing, why we were doing it, go over that home care and really talk to them. It's a level of care that a lot of people don't get from people in our industry. It's how many can I see today, getting them in, getting them out, getting them in, getting them out, like herding them like cattle. I gave them a level of care that was beyond anything they'd ever had. And that too earns trust. You know, you build this is a relationship business. You build trust with your clients. They trust you. They're loyal. That's huge. That's huge. It's not, you've got a hydrofacial in your office, or you've got this laser or that laser or whatever. They're coming to see you. Jason over here, my husband, told me a long time ago, and it's just stuck with me for my whole career. People do business with people. They don't do business with business. So whatever the name of your business is, mine was Regenesis Skin Studio. They weren't coming to Regenesis Skin Studio. They were coming to see Terri. They had a relationship with Terri. Terri's going to take care of my skin. I'm going to see Terri. That's everything. Build good, solid, trustworthy relationships with your clients. Take your time with them. Talk to them. Help them. Listen. Use your mouth less and your ears more. And take good care of your clients. And really, really correct their skin. Make their skin healthy. Make it beautiful. They're yours. They're yours forever. They'll never leave.
You know, that's so interesting. Just because, I like when I see people post in the group and other groups, one of the reasons I feel a lot of estheticians are not where they should be is because they're constantly talking about their product. Here's my product. Look at my product. And I'm just constantly just reminding them, like, you know what? Know your products, of course, but know your clients better, right? Invest in knowing your client. What is up with your client? What is hurting your client? What is going on in your client's mind? Because your product, absolutely, it's important. However, cure the client, care for the client, speak in the client's language, because that's what's going to matter, that relationship and knowing that. So many people talk about the product and this, and hi, I dermaplane and I do this. I'm like, no one cares about a dermaplane. What that person on the other side is going to care about is what that dermaplane is going to get them. Is it going to get me smoother skin? Is it going to do this? Is it going to do that? Right. And so you're absolutely right. Like, that relationship part is critical. Treat the client, treat that person, and not just be pushing a product, right?
People are always going to remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
Always. It's a very, very big deal. That, to me, if you've got that kind of confidence, you've created that trust and that loyalty there, with a client, you've got that relationship with that client, everything else will fall into place. It just will. I remember when I switched over, and I had talked about a couple of ingredients that I wasn't a fan of for years. And then when I got to know Janet, and I finally learned some truths, because I had been educated horribly too. I'd heard some really bad stuff, and we didn't know any better. So when I finally learned the truth, I started swinging a completely different direction in my practice with my clients. And my clients were going, well, hold on, Terri, I thought you said you didn't like this. And I'm like, no, that was before I knew better. I didn't, sometimes I learn things too, guys, and now I know better. And it didn't even matter to them, because they trusted me. And I just owned it. I'm like, I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was wrong. Now I know better. And here's why. And I would, I'd have to sit there and talk to them like, Terri, if you're telling me this is what I need, I got it. I'll do it. I had that kind of relationship. I'm just not a BSer, just never have been, never want to be. I'm just pretty much a straight shooter, and my clients saw that in me. And so it didn't even matter if I was going back and saying the exact opposite of something I'd been saying for 10 years. They're like, okay, I'm with you. But I built that kind of loyalty and trust with my clients.
That's why it's important, right? To constantly be learning. I always tell people, the more you learn, the more you earn. Because I can't tell you how many times I've been completely wrong about something. right? Because I didn't evaluate where I'm putting, you know, my trust into. Why do I believe this? Just because somebody else told me, okay, somebody else did this, or a lot of estheticians, I'll see, hey, y'all, you know, what do you have in your back bar? What products are you using? And they're always going to say the same names again and again, right? But this part really shocked me, Terry. This is the part that just blew my mind and what got me into this industry. The average esthetician is making between 30 to 35,000 a year. So sometimes, and I want y'all to let this marinate in your mind. If you're doing what most other estheticians are doing, you're getting what most estheticians are getting, and that's about 30 to 35,000 a year, because we all just fall into this mainstream stuff, right? And what you talked about, you know, I think the most important things for clients, you know, of course, the products, the results are critical, but getting to the results, that client needs to feel that they're understood, that you're with them, that you're with them with that journey, and that they can relate to you, right? And everybody here, again, this blew my mind, and this is why I am so, you know, pro Corium Corrective 360, is Terri gave up her career because she believed in this product that freaking much. That's crazy. So Terri was a thriving esthetician, and she goes, you know, hey, I believe in this so much, I'm going to switch over to do that. That's crazy, Terri, right? Because, but when your belief is that strong, right? That's why I can see how strong your conviction is.
Yeah, I just could not do both proficiently. Something was going to get neglected.
Yep.
And I was on board with this. Janet needed me, and I did try for a while to do both. I sure did. But I had no time for that guy over there on the couch that's over there sleeping at the moment. I had no time for he's waving. No, he's not asleep. Thought he was. The kiddos over here, you know, I'm a dog lover. I had no time for my doggies. I had no time to, you know, I don't know. I had no time for myself at all. You know, and in life, and you know, you remember that time I was on the phone with you, Wick, and I was having a meltdown because I needed some balance. And you really, that phone call was so good for me. I had a great weekend that weekend because I listened to you, and I exercised some boundaries on myself and with others. So, you know, thank you for that. That was a great call. So, you know, I quickly knew I couldn't do both well. Yeah. And so I went over here because I saw a need. Like I said earlier, our industry is so full of bad information. The education part is awful. I will tell you guys that I am not in many of those groups anymore. I'm still in them, but I've unfollowed most of them because it's such bad information. There's a lot of drama, a lot of fighting, a lot of bickering, a lot of great big egos. And, you know, I've said to some of our accounts before, you guys got to let all that go. Could you imagine if I had this giant ego and I wasn't willing to listen, and I met someone like Janet Kendall, and who's just brilliant with the skin, and I went, well, that's not what I heard. I know I was taught this. And, you know, if I wasn't willing to listen, there would be no Corium. Yep. No one would know who Janet was. There, you know, we wouldn't be fixing and changing skin. I had to shut my mouth and listen, and think, perhaps I don't know it all. And so, you know, anyway, I had to quit practicing at least full time because I couldn't do both well. And I got to tell you, I don't regret it for a second. I love what I do. I love getting on the phone with estheticians, helping them with their clients, sharing this. I'm just so in love with what I do. And I'm so in love with fixing and correcting skin and seeing how it's changing these estheticians' lives and the lives of their clients. It's amazing. Yeah. It's huge. It's so rewarding. I love it. Absolutely love it. Love teaching. Love helping.
And Terri, we can tell, right, just by hearing your voice. And again, y'all, the way that Terri speaks, right, with the confidence, with the conviction, the words, there's an old saying, I think the words, scientists have done studies and all this other shit, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They say the words are like 10%. The way you say it is 90%. So all of the communication isn't the words, it's in the conviction. And when you are convinced of the results, when you're convinced, let me share this sucker again. When you're convinced that these are the results that you can guarantee, right? You can guarantee these results, your business will change because you're no longer doubting. You're no longer not sure. You're no longer hoping it's going to work. You know it's going to work, right? And that conviction is everything. So when a lot of estheticians don't have that conviction, right? And I'm not saying you have to know everything. It's hard to know everything, just like what Terri just said, but you have to be open to learning, open to trying. And if something is working with you, working for you, working for your clients, it's a good thing for your business, because with that, you're going to get more and more confidence, right, Terri? So in the beginning, you weren't even doing acne because you weren't confident. And now cakewalk, I got this. It doesn't even matter what the derm says, right? How does
That's
that
right.
feel?
It's amazing. And we never, ever stop learning. And you know this, just in general, just life in general, we never stop learning. I taught a class here this last weekend. I had some fantastic estheticians here, and I learned a few things. We learn from each other.
Yeah.
We never know it all. And oh my gosh, what if we did? How boring would that be? I know a good bit, but man, my eyes are open and my ears are open, and I never stop learning. And you can bet when I learn something, I'm going to share it. It's a very big deal to just keep your ego in check and be willing to listen and learn. It's how you grow. It's how you get better. You're going to reap the benefits of that. Your clients are going to reap the benefit of that. Your bank account is going to reap the benefits of that. It's important. It's very important. And like I said, I don't have any regrets about my decision. I have clients now that, they've kind of become friends, and Terri, can you just please take me? And it's so funny because I'll say, I don't know when I can, well, let me refer you out. I mean, Wick, they won't even let me refer. They want to come see me. Some of them I can't get them to go, and that's flattering. And I love that. But the problem is when you have good relationships with people like that. My studio is now at my house, so now they're going over to Terri's house.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to hang out for a while and talk to Jason and talk to my doggies and play around. And I'm like, I got things to do, and I'm not real good about shooing them out. So, but I like to keep my hands in it a little bit. So I see a few here and there. But this is my life right here. What we're doing, teaching, sharing, educating, bringing truth and integrity back to our industry. If it was ever there at all, I don't even know. But we're lacking it. And that's a very big deal. These clients are tired. Our clients are tired of being sold to. They're tired of being sold. And I don't even, when I teach and we talk about, getting clients on these products, I talk about you're giving them the help that they've come in and asked for. And we are prescribing them care. We're not selling. This is not sales. We're prescribing them care. And one thing that I want to say, Wick, if I can, just really quickly, and I think this is important information for everybody that's listening to hear. When a client comes in to your practice and you're doing a consult with them, and they are at, why are you so, hey, Susie or whatever, so why are you here? Tell me a little bit about what brought you in, what you got going on. And you're having a conversation with them. They're going to start to tell you why they're there. They're going to start to tell you what's bothering them about their skin, what they want to see change. You are in that moment getting the expectation from that client. They're telling you the expectation that they expect you to meet. It is then up to you to tell that client, how that expectation is going to get met. And this is where estheticians lose it. Because we tend to be people pleasers and we want to keep them, and we don't want, you are in charge when you are in those four walls and you're in your practice, you're in charge. It's up to them to tell you why they're there, to tell you what the expectation is. It is up to you to tell them how you're going to meet their expectations. They don't get to tell you that. And that takes confidence, but you've got to do that. They don't get to tell you. You don't go to a doctor with a broken leg and tell him how he's going to fix it, or a brain tumor, or a heart problem. I mean, no. Here's my problem, doc. All right, here's how we're gonna address this. You do the same with your clients. I want my pigment corrected. I want this. Well, here's what we got to do. Here's the plan. And if they're not willing to meet that, then you got to sit back and say, okay, so what can I do for you? Then what? So I can't meet your expectation because you're not on board with what we've got to do. So what now? You have to have those kind of conversations with people. That takes confidence, and it takes a little bit of firmness. And you can do that very professionally and very kindly, but you got to do it, because it's not fair for clients to put an expectation on you and not do their part at home, not do their part coming into appointments, whatever. That's your call. And you've got to be strong enough to tell them, okay, here's you put this on me. Here's what I expect from you. Here's what I need in return. And then we got this. 100%. And I spend a lot of time trying to drive that home. And I don't really know why that gets lost on so many people, but it does. That's perplexing to me, because to me, that's just simple, but it doesn't seem to be when I talk about it.
Yeah. And it could be a lot of things, right? It's not having that confidence. It's not having that directness. It's that fear of losing a client. But the thing is, if you are getting clients results and those clients are talking and you're getting all these referrals, like one of the best feelings I think in the world for an esthetician is to be able to fire a client and not think twice about it. Go like, hey, here's the deal. You were late this time. You were late that time. You did a no-show. I'm sorry. I'm not just going to take you anymore because I don't have to, right? When you have that confidence, when you're not hoping and it's kind of like that needy nature. It's like, well, I don't want to lose a client. Well, it's like, shit, if you had 10 more that can instantly replace them because now you have time and you have better clients, clients will think twice about missing or being late if you did these miracles for their skin, and they're like, oh shit, I better not miss out because I'm gonna, she's booked 6 months out, right?
That's right.
And that's a great, powerful place to be. And I think one of our goals is to help estheticians get there, to be able to speak confidently, directly, and be like you mentioned. You wouldn't tell a doctor, hey doctor, we'll go to the doctor with a broken leg, and the doctor's saying this is, and they're like, well, I wouldn't really set my bone that way. It's like, who the fuck are you? The doctor is gonna smack you twice and be like, wait a minute, right? You do not.
That's right.
The doctor prescribes, you go pick that shit up.
That's right. Another thing that I always find interesting with clients, and this is another conversation you got to have with them. They will come in and they'll say, I'm using, so what are you doing at home? Well, I'm using, A, B, C, and D. Okay. Well, and I really like it. I'm really happy with it. And I would look at my clients and I would go, well, so what is it that you like about it? Tell me a little bit about that. And then after they got that out, I would say, well, I'm going to be honest with you. It's not doing a thing for your skin. Your skin's not healthy. So we need to walk that backwards, and we need to start over. And when you talk to them like that, again, that's confidence, and it's building that relationship, and it's building trust. They learn really quickly who you are. They learn really quickly that you're there, you mean business. A lot of our clients, I shouldn't say a lot, but some people come into us and they kind of treat this like this is a hobby. Mm-hmm. Like we're just, kind of like we're little girls and we're playing beauty parlor. I used to play beauty parlor a lot when I was little and dress up and all that. Little girls do that. This is not grown up beauty parlor. This is a big deal. We spend a lot of money on our practice, on getting educated. We spend a lot of money on classes. We invest a lot of time in this. This is not games and fun time. This is not a hobby.
Yeah. You know what's
and you
funny?
start fixing skin like that, they'll
Uh-huh.
know real quick that you mean business.
No, Terry, it's funny, right? So like for example, if I was an esthetician, because I'll have people call me all the time for coaching and blah blah blah, and they'll say, well, you know, and I'm like, well, what have you tried? What are you doing? Well, I'm doing this, this, and this, and I love this and this, and I'm like, well, you know, good. So why are you on the phone with me?
That's
So,
right.
right. So
Yeah.
if like you know, if they're using these products, like you mentioned, if they're using product A, B, C, and D, and they love the products, well, great. So why are you here? If you love your products, well, you know, well, I wasn't okay. So what you're telling me is, you know, you have these products, and maybe they like the creaminess or this or the feel or the smell or whatever, but they're not getting that result, right? And to me, that's what it's about. Because obviously, if somebody is visiting you, calling you, messaging you, texting you for asking questions, they're not happy with where they are right now. And again, it's still talking about the results. If we can get people from A to B and being direct, because I tell people straight up, they're like, well, you know, I'm really happy with this. I'm like, great. Well, why are you calling me? You had nothing better to do today? Just randomly calling people and asking information. It's like, no, people are busy. If they're calling you, talking to you in your place, right? So Terri, here, if estheticians are interested or want more information about Corium Corrective 360 and about you, what you do, you know, what's the process? How if someone's interested, what would they do?
Yeah. So joining the Facebook group is a great place to start. We're a small group. There's a lot of education that goes on in there. I go live. I do treatment demos, lots of before and afters. I save all the videos that I do so you can go back, in there and watch things at your leisure. Everybody in there is very helpful. It's a no drama group. We're just there to learn and support and help each other. It's just a really good place for information.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. They can also call me. Typically, what we do, Wick, with new people that are really interested, what we do, we don't get into right out of the gate. We don't want people placing big orders, and that's another way that that we're serious about this, because a lot of
Yep.
companies will just give you the spiel, and then they'll just let you start buying products, and and you're just placing big orders, and they're happy to take that all day long, and we don't do that. What we do right out of the gate is we say, send me pictures of your skin, meaning the esthetician. And we look at their skin and we talk about that. And then we're going to get them started on product and correcting their skin. Or if their skin's good, we're going to make it better. Because if we can't wow the esthetician, then everything else is pointless. It's just moot. We might as well not bother. We will wow you. We will. No doubt. But we have to do that because, like I said, if they're not wowed, or they find that, this is more than I want to fool with, or I don't know, whatever, then no harm, no foul. We're good. We have to know that these estheticians are really ready to work. Corrective skincare takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of follow through, hand holding, all of that. Their rewards are huge. And I talked about that here and here. big time. And quickly. I mean, quickly. So, but we want to wow the esthetician first. So that's the first thing I would do. And then I can talk to you guys about some of the treatments that we do that, regardless of whatever you decide, we have some amazing treatments that you should be doing in your practice anyway. And then I talked earlier about that list that, where you can get things off of that list and not be a full-fledged Corium account. You have to be ready. If you're going to do this, though, you have to be ready to fix your own skin and really buckle down and work. If you're somebody that likes to come in and wax a few eyebrows and do a facial or two and go home, we're not for you. We're for estheticians who want to practice corrective skincare, fix and change skin, take beautiful skin, make it better, get clients for life. You guys, you want accounts, you want clients that come in and they're yours forever. They're loyal, they're dedicated, they're sending you referrals. That's your meat right there. Those are your bread and butter people. Well, we want the same in our accounts. I don't want to get an account and have somebody order for a couple of months in their history. I want, because I put a lot into this. A lot of my energy and my time, and Janet's time, goes into helping you guys grow and learn and do better and help your clients. I want you forever. I don't want an account for a few months. I want you forever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead, Wick.
No, and that's huge. And so here, this is my wife, right? So before we look at this and stuff like that, because my wife, we tried a lot of the known brands that a lot of people are carrying, right? And just tried a little bit of this, a little bit of that consistently. Like I know some people will hop from here to there and here to there. Like we were on one brand for 4 months. We were on another brand for 6 months, right? But these results just blew my mind. And I think this is about, I'm not sure, I think it's a week or 2 weeks, right? It was either 7 or 14 days. I forget what the time difference was. Maybe even 7, I don't know. But this is crazy. Like when we look at, because my wife, she has a lot of this acne scarring and she dealt with it. But when you look at this, literally between 1 to 2 weeks, it blew my mind of kind of just going that, right, Terry? So this is why I love Corium Corrective 360 so much. It's like, you look at this, because my wife was always, and my wife is just gorgeous, but she was always hesitant because of these scars that she had.
Yes. Yeah. I can't remember. I know that she was on those like the ANR calming cream and all of that for a while. And I think we've since introduced, haven't we pulled back a little bit from that and kind of started to introduce some other things, or have we not done that? I know we did that with you, Wick.
Yeah. She's on the ANR 10 now.
Okay. So, and again, that's part of learning too, is that teaching estheticians how you start one place and then you have to slowly start to transition, and maybe pulling back on some things and adding some other things in. It is never one size fits all. It is never cookie cutter. It is always treating the client, treating the skin that's in front of you. That is everything. You just can't put people in the same box. It's never okay. And that really sets us apart as well.
Yeah.
It's like when I see I see a homeopathic doctor and they treat the person, and they're not going to treat me the same as the next 10 people coming in the door. They're treating me as an individual, and we have to do that with the skin too. That's really important. A lot of lines just don't. Well, I know, Wick, a lot of lines just don't do what we do. They don't teach how you've got to get that skin cleaned up before you start introducing our actives. And I won't go hard and heavy into that because that's too much. But, we do things right. We do things right from the start. And then we just carry that through their entire treatment process. And we want them for life, and we want our accounts for forever. We don't, you guys vet us, we vet you, and we make sure we're a good fit. And then we're off and running. And I love it. I love helping. Absolutely love it. It's what I get up. It's what I get up and do every day.
I don't know who's getting the better end of it, whether it's the clients that are getting the results, but also the estheticians that are getting the confidence because of that repeated success of using words like, hey, don't worry, forget about it. It's a cakewalk. I got you. 100 out of 100. we can take care of this. You are just give me time, trust me, and you will get you to that promised land, right? So the clients are getting that confidence. You know, the end users, the estheticians are building that confidence. And again, that's where referrals come from, y'all, is massive results. And if you can show them these benchmarks, if you can show them, go, hey, give me a week, you're gonna see a difference. Give me 2 weeks, you're gonna see, you know, cleaner, clearer skin. You're gonna see, you know, a balancing of the tones. You're gonna see, you know, it getting smoother and all of that, right? And that's what Corium is about. And to me, that just blows my mind.
It feels so good to be able to look at somebody and go, no, that's no problem. We'll fix that. Not an issue. And they're just so taken aback. They're like, well, you know, it's like, oh, they almost want to debate it. And
Yeah.
like, I know you've been here and there and everywhere in between. I know that. We're good. I got you. You listen to what I say. You do what I ask you to do. And by the way, if you don't, I'm going to know. So don't come in here. Don't come in here with a bunch of nonsense, because I'm going to call you out.
Mm-hmm.
You listen and we won't fail. I will correct your skin and we will keep it clear, and I don't fail, and I don't like to fail. So you listen and we're good. We're home free 100 times out of 100. The first time I was ever able to say that felt so good.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, I'm sending a client out the door. And I know this is going to work. Wow. I mean, it was amazing.
No, that's
amazing.
awesome, Terri.
It's amazing. And I'll say this too, just real quick. If you are making $35,000 a year, you know, listen, that's nothing to sneeze at. I'm not knocking that. 6 figures and beyond in aesthetics with us is very easy. Very easy. Just is.
I like the way that sounds. You know, who doesn't, right? So last thing, Terri, just to close this sucker out, you know, last piece of advice that you have for estheticians that are either not sure about their product or are struggling, whatever the case may be, because so many estheticians are struggling, and that's the whole purpose of this group is say, hey, estheticians are struggling to run their business, to pay their rent, their overhead, to take care of clients, to do all this stuff. You know, what would you like to say to them to encourage them and inspire?
It's kind of a compilation of everything I said. You know, appreciate everybody that comes through your door. Listen to them, really listen, close your mouth for a little while and listen, hear them, take care of them, you know, be honest with them, listen to their expectations, talk to them very thoughtfully about what you can do to meet those expectations. That build those relationships.
Yep.
Build those relationships. You do things right. When you do things right, the money follows. It does. It just does. If you want to be an esthetician who just does a few facials and does a little waxing and goes home, that's okay. You know, if that's what you want out of it, then that's
right.
Fine. But if you really want to have a successful practice, the kind of practice that, you know, hey, I can, you know, I'm a huge contributor to my household, or I'm getting by pretty nice in life. I'm gonna have a nice retirement window. You know, if you want that, do those things. Do those things. It's not buying another piece of equipment.
Yep.
It's, if you don't have that stuff down, you can buy all the expensive machines that you want. It doesn't matter. It's not going to make, it's not going to make a tinker's dam. It's just not. So you have to have that and really, really change those clients' skin. Wow them every single time. Every single time. Wow them. You know, fix that skin, change that skin, correct that skin, keep it corrected, make it healthy, keep it healthy. Do that. Everything else will fall into place. Show up, Follow up, follow through, and show them you care. Set yourself apart, because there's a lot of us out there, but there's a lot of us that aren't doing a good job. There's just not.
You know what, Terri, if there's one thing I've learned about this conversation, a lot of estheticians, you are only as good as the products you carry and the results you deliver, right? Because that's all that matters. If you are an esthetician that's struggling, you're not confident, you're not sure, right? You have to ask yourselves, are you using the right tools? Because sometimes that's it, because the more results you're able to consistently get, the confidence will come by itself, right? Terri was not doing acne, and then she was 70% acne. That happened because before she was not confident, because the tools she was using, the product lines, wasn't giving the results to build that confidence. And I see that so much in the industry, right? I see estheticians that are not confident, but cakewalk, 100 out of 100. I got this. I don't care about what the derm said or so-and-so said. You come to me, you follow this path, I will take you to the motherland. Terri, am I lying?
No. We oh, I've said this in a few videos before when I've gone live in the group, and everybody just kind of laughs, but I just always say, guys, we give a crap. We care. I care about what I'm saying right now. I care. I give a crap. I care about your clients. I care about you guys. I care about, my reputation. I care. I care about that guy sitting over there on the couch, and me and me, having a good, life for us. I care about all of it. And I want our industry to be better and do better.
Yeah.
And if I can just play a small role in that, I'm happy. And,
That's it.
Janet and I say all the time, one account at a time, one account at a time. That's what we're doing. We're changing things one account at a time, one esthetician at a time. And I'm happy to help anybody that wants to learn and is ready to look at things in a different way and undo some bad information that I know they have. We can change their practice, and we can change their clients' lives and their skin for sure.
All right,
and I'm excited to do that.
So do you want to be more confident with the results? Do you want to help clients? Do you want to increase your pay, right? Doing above and beyond what the average of the 30,000 in the industry is doing, then this is an avenue for you, right? Check it out. If you have any questions, definitely hit up Terri. I will put in the link Terri's group and information that you can get a hold of Terri, et cetera, et cetera. Terri, once again, thank you so very much for your time. I know it's only 12:40 a.m. over there. So
see how dedicated I am?
That's that is dedication. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, Rick said I want to call you up. Let's talk tonight. And I'm like, oh, okay, let me go see if I can fluff my hair up a little bit and put on a little lip gloss, and we'll
and you look stunning, stunning. So look at you. All right, Terri, stay on for a minute. Let me just close this out. Everybody here, again, I'm going to have the link below. Check it out. You know what? Your business is everything. The confidence that you have, how you speak, hits harder than anything else. And the only thing that hits harder than how you say it are the results that you deliver, because those results are going to help you hit hard and continually tell people, hey, I got you. Hey, 100 out of 100. Hey, no matter what anybody else said, it's a cakewalk. We will get you there. Follow me. I'll take you there. So Terri, again, thank you so much. Everybody, take notes, follow up, hit Terri up with questions, and we'll go from there. Cool beans. Terri, you want to say bye-bye?
Bye, everybody. Mwah. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye. See you soon.